SIGs. Now, what are these SIGs? These SIGs are known as special interest groups. More about this will be spoken on later in the session. Then we have student chapters. So when a university hosts an ACM or an ACM-W chapter, then that is known as the student chapter of that particular university. So we currently are the student chapter of ACM and ACM-W for Amrita School of Engineering, Bangalore. Now, we are so well known in the world that we're present in nearly 60 nations on 6 continents. Now, what conferences do we have? We have conferences held on important topics such as data science, Python, and many more. You name a domain, there is one conference at least that's present in ACM. Now, one amazing thing about ACM is that regardless of the size of the chapter or the location of the chapter, does not matter how big a professional chapter is, how big a student chapter is, or which country or continent it's located, ACM chapter always offers its members a huge wealth of benefits. And this includes access to critical research papers. All of you must be working on some projects or will at some point work on projects and will need access to research papers. So ACM helps you in that regard. ACM allows you to access these high critical research papers as well. Now, ACM also provides you seminars, lectures, learning forums, and most importantly, network opportunities with not just peers from all across the globe, but we also have network opportunities with computing experts from all across the computing spectrum. All right. So now that we had a general overview about what ACM means on a global scale, let's meet the team here we have at ACM and ACM-W, Amrita School of Engineering, Bangalore. So we have Sunil, who is the ACM chair. I'm Sneha B, and I'm the ACM-W chair. We have Samson, who is the ACM co-chair. Aditya Manas, who is the ACM secretary. We have Nandita Ravishankar, who is the ACM co-chair. We have Manasa Ganesh, who's the ACM-W secretary. Then we have Amogha, who's the ACM and ACM-W treasurer. And we have Aditya Gudivaka, who is the ACM and ACM-W webmaster. So the speakers for today's events will be Sunil, Manasa, Aditya Gudivaka, and Sneha. And the moderators are Nandita, Samson, and Amogha. Over to Aditya Gudivaka, who will be giving us a better insight about the events we have at the ACM chapter ASEB.
Hey guys, I know you guys must be thinking, what do we do at ACM? What are the events? Now basically at ACM ACB, there are 3 main events conducted every year. General events, talks and seminars, and SIGs. General events are those that are open to everyone in Amrita, ranging from beginner level to advanced. These usually include competitions in particular domains. Now comes the SIGs. What are SIGs? SIG stands for Special Interest Groups. These are forums where people with similar interests in a particular domain, such as data science, web development, and app development, etc., meet up to learn more about the same. The events hosted are hack-based, focused on the topics covered up to a certain section in an SIG for the students who are taking part in the said SIG. These can include web hack or a data hack, etc., depending on the SIG and its objectives. The aim of these events is exactly to get out the practical use and the knowledge they gain and understand the relevant applications of the SIG they've done. Finally, we have the talks and seminars, which are the most important part of this ACM and ACM-W. These general talks aim at helping students to build their career paths. These also allow the students to understand and learn how to use the tools and tricks which we have like LinkedIn to build their resumes and increase the level of their portfolios. If you guys have any doubts as of now, please rain them down. You can unmute yourself, ask the doubts through the chat box. Thank you.
Don't hesitate in asking any doubts. You can either put them in the chat or you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask the doubts as well. All right, I think we can move on. Over to Manasa, who will be speaking about ACM-W.
Hey everyone, here at ACM-W, we seek to take forward the task of ACM community, but with a particular focus on the empowerment of women in computing. Our activities are to facilitate technical growth of women by organizing invited lectures, seminars, workshops, and informal meetings. Support women in the professional career growth and help them to face the challenges in their work environment. Provide a platform for the exchange of information, resources, ideas, and experiences. Moving on to the events. We have talks and seminars. ACM-W will hold technical talks about opportunities such as internships, scholarships, and others that will help women further their career in the field of technology. Women's Week. Here there are events such as coding contests, debates, and other challenges that will give women a safer space to speak about their problems and explore their creative and technical sides. Lastly, we work hand in hand with ACM for the other events and ensure a healthy women participation for the same. Now, let's answer this question: why should you all join ACM? Here at ACM-W, we concentrate on these three trilogies, that is to celebrate, inform, and support. At ACM-W, celebration of women in computing is one of the most popular methods to honor women in the field of computing. Secondly, women are informed about the research going on and become acquainted with the researchers in their field. Members of ACM-W student chapters are informed about the educational and career opportunities available to them. Finally, I would ask you all to lend your enthusiasm, inspiration, and support to ACM-W and help make a difference in the global computing community. Now, if you all have any doubts, feel free to unmute or type it out in the chat box.
Hey, okay, so I can see a few questions here. Someone's asked us to explain what SIGs are again. So we'll just go over that briefly all over again. SIGs basically stand for Special Interest Groups. So what we're planning here is basically a forum or a meetup where all students in Amrita, Bangalore who are interested in a particular domain. As of now, we've not exactly finalized the domains for the SIGs, but they will mostly be data science, web development, and app development. So what you can do for an SIG is you can pick a domain of your choice. You can pick a particular domain that you're interested in. And for that domain, you can join in with the sessions we will have. So we will have weekly or bi-weekly sessions for these SIGs in that particular domain. And these sessions will start from the very basics. So you maybe know nothing about data science or nothing about web or nothing about app. It will start from the very basics and we will go higher up from there, and you'll be taught important concepts and also gain practical exposure to these concepts in our SIG session. So that's what an SIG is, a special interest group where we meet up and learn about an interested domain. And this is an amazing opportunity for students from all years, because not only will you get to learn theory about that particular domain, you'll also get to learn a lot of, you'll get a lot of practical exposure because we'll be helping you do many projects. And apart from that, you'll get a lot of networking opportunities. You'll be able to meet people, not just from your year, but your seniors and your juniors as well. I hope I answered your question. Harshita Reddy asks, how many SIGs are there? So we haven't really, as Nandita has mentioned, we haven't really fixed that yet. As of now, the three I mentioned, but we will let you know soon. I hope all the other questions are answered. Anyone else wants to unmute and ask right now, you can feel free to go ahead. This session is mainly for you to ask all the questions you have for ACM and ACM-W. So please don't hesitate in asking any question. Or if there's anything you wanted us to explain again, please do that. Please do let us know. All right, then we'll move ahead. Over to Sunil, who will be speaking about the events that we have lined up for you this month.
So those of you who regularly follow our social media or have even attended the interaction session we held for the first years a couple weeks back, we showed you a sneak peek of the events that we are planning to conduct soon. And I'm sure you you've been waiting to know more about them. So let's not waste any more time and get into it. 4 weeks, 4 events. ACM and ACM-W are finally excited to present our first ever event series, Pave the Way Engineering Edition. This series will help you build a toolkit of skills and which you can develop throughout your 4 years of engineering to help you prepare better for the real world. You can think of this as a tutorial on the building blocks for any technical career, and it will help you gain a better insight about the various technical domains and the basic tools and platforms employed in these domains, which will help you grow your career and help you find a standing in a certain field you're interested in so you can make the best out of it. Let's take a closer look at each of the events and see what they're all about. The first event we have is Dominion over Domains. Here you'll get a bird's eye view or an overall view about the domains that comprise the massive field of technology. And for each of these domains, you learn about the different languages used, the resources and tools you can use and explore to help you know more about the domain, and even the job opportunities that come with each domain, so you can have an idea about a possible future in there, which will help you set your path. This domain event is also a collaboration with GDSC. We'll be taking the session in combination with them, so do stay tuned for that. Next up, we have Learn, Code, Repeat. This event will help you understand the interface of various coding and course platforms and learn how to make the best use of them. We believe that in order to get good or find your footing in any technological domain, you need to learn and practice code. So we believe the two best ways to do that are using coding and course platforms, and this event will introduce you to them and spread awareness. Some of the platforms we'll be talking about include Geeks for Geeks, HackerRank, Class Central, LeetCode, Coursera, Udemy, Udacity, and others. Next up, we have the event Git Set, Commit, and Pull. This event will introduce you to the concept of version control systems, how it's important to you, and why you should be acquainted with it. You'll also learn about GitHub, which is the most popular interface for a version control system software with Git, which you'll also learn about, and you'll explore the interface of GitHub, learn basic Git commands, and even take your first steps towards building a repository of your very own projects that will help you showcase your talent. Finally, last but not least, we have our final event, Stay Connected. Here you'll familiarize yourself with LinkedIn's interface, understand the best practices to make your profile stand out, get a walkthrough on how to set up your LinkedIn profile, and even learn tips and tricks from an alumni speaker, where you'll get to hear about their experience, their mistakes, and how you can get ahead and get a better head start on your own LinkedIn profile. This event will also be a two-parter, where the second part will be focused on resume building, which will be taken up by GDSC. So stay tuned for that as well.
Thank you so much for attending our event. So this is all the content we had for you so far. If there are any questions, now the forum's open for all questions you have. So please feel free to unmute and ask these questions. It could be about the session. If you joined in late, it could be about explaining some of the earlier things we said. Absolutely anything. Please don't feel shy, and please open up and ask us anything you want. If there's anything you wanted us to repeat from this session, either about the events we have lined up, we'll be posting more updates about this on our social media, as well as the groups you're a part of. So please do stay tuned and active there so you get to know what we have lined up for you. And if you think there's anyone else who's not present in this meeting and would like to know more about these events, which basically comprise of the building blocks we have for you to build a career for yourself in the technical domain, then do share our links with them as well.